Let's welcome Alex Heinsoff with Hexcup LLC to the floor. Alex, it's all yours.
Thank you. So Hexcup started with me and my partner, Aaron Atterbury, and he's also an engineer. He grew up in Fulton, Missouri, and lives in Overland Park and couldn't be here today. I grew up in Coal Camp, Missouri. We met in Rolla, Missouri. Aaron was my big brother in my fraternity, kind of a mentor to me, and we also came up with the idea for Hexcup in the basement of this house. We were playing a game of beer pong, as you might imagine, and we decided, how can we make beer pong better? So we decided that it was the cup. The cup's been the same since the game started. There's really been no changes to it, and we needed a way to really refresh the game. We did decide that the game itself, there were really no issues. We really enjoyed it through college. So we kept the game the same, and for those of you that may not know, beer pong's played with 10 cups on either side, and one team will throw a ball and try to make it into the opponent's cups. If they do make it in, then the cup gets moved to the side, and the player with no cups at the end of the game loses. So the worst part about the round cups was the rack. We noticed for sure that you definitely get a lot of this where the cups will jump on top of one another. There's also a lot of wasted space in between the racks. And when a ball hits this rack, the cups just kind of move individually. They're not really tied together in any way. So we fixed all that with the hexagon. Oops. And then we decided also to change the bottom portion of the cup. And we changed the shape there so that we could break the surface tension of water. Because when the table gets wet, a standard beer pong cup kind of ghosts around on the table. And then the last thing we saw that was really bad was that the cups tend to break a lot. They're just really brittle. So we chose a material that is much more flexible and really kept them kind of crack resistant. So we had this idea and we really didn't do anything with it for some time. We designed this thing about 2009, and a fraternity brother of ours was having a bachelor party, and he challenged us to do something with that idea we came up with in the basement. So we did, and in 2015 we started an LLC in the state of Missouri, and then we went to work designing this thing. So we came up with, I think, 3 design iterations, and then the third one we actually 3D printed that you see here. And the only thing that changed a little bit was the lip changed a little bit. So after we had the design, we decided that we needed to turn this thing into the production material. And to make it out of the production material, we needed a mold. So we used our own funds to come up with that. We also backed a video so that we could tell the world about Hexcup. And before we did that, we went to talk to a lawyer about what we could do to protect our idea. And we ended up with a collection of design patents. We got a copyright on the video and some of the marketing materials we used. And we also got a trademark. So then we needed to define the market, decide who we really wanted to target. As someone pointed out earlier that I was talking to a lot, anyone can play beer pong, but definitely there's a group that is more interested in beer pong than others. And we determined that that was people in college or people that are just out of college that like to hang out with their friends. And then we defined the product as 22 cups and 3 balls, so there's a little bit of extra material in case something's to go wrong. Once we had that figured out, we needed a way to buy a lot of cups. There's no small run of plastic cups. You have to buy a ton of them. And in order to do that, we didn't want to front all the money or couldn't front all the money, so we relied on crowdfunding, and we used Kickstarter. And for those of you that don't know, Kickstarter is a platform where you ask people for money to bring a product or an idea to market, and in exchange, you're supposed to give them a reward. And in our case, the reward was the product. So the Kickstarter was rough. For the first month or so, we had backing from our friends and family that got us up to about $4,000, and we kind of stalled out, and we didn't really get any traction. So we did a lot of reading, we did a lot of posting on social media, and we did a lot of contacting bloggers and authors. Oops. So one of the biggest things that really kickstarted the campaign and got it going was this picture got about 10 million views, and this video got about 7.2 million views. And then shortly after that, it became much easier for us to get written about. We got on the top of Reddit for a whole day on the front page of the internet. We got several stories written about us by the Chive, which were all very helpful. Oops. So the result of all that, the blogs and the social media posts, was that our Kickstarter did very well. We did about twice what we needed to do, and a lot of that came from 90,000 video views on Kickstarter, and that was driven a lot by being on the top of Kickstarter for about 8 days. And it wasn't just in the United States. We sold a lot of these in Australia, a lot of them in Europe, and some in Canada. In total, we had 6,000 sets we needed to fulfill, so we partnered with a group in Arkansas to ship those out. And then after we fulfilled the Kickstarter, we decided that we needed to go to some events and really connect with the people that might buy our product. And we did that by coming up with a tent at Midland Printing, and we used Braden Signs for some other things, and we started making these tables. We really started pursuing a wholesale environment. So some of the best moments so far have been definitely the support we got from our friends and family that really got the Kickstarter going, them sharing it on Facebook, getting the word out there. That was powerful to us. Also, here we're giving a set to Dirk Bentley. That was pretty cool. And we also got to go on Channel 41 News with Lindsay Shively. So what's next for us? I think it's going to be expanding the wholesale piece of it, definitely getting into more retail stores and scaling the business, and of course the cash flow to handle that kind of business. So far we haven't sold 1 million cups, but we're getting there. You guys have any questions? Yeah.
Do you find yourself playing more beer pong now than you did in college? So you have an appropriate beer pong set?
There was a period there where we were very busy and I played no beer pong, and now I get to play a little bit more. Go ahead.
How many different people funded your Kickstarter campaign?
We had about 3,600 backers. Go ahead.
Where do you sell your product?
Our product is on Hexcup.com, Amazon.com, and for sale in Spencer Gifts.
Have you developed any other games to reach a larger market?
No, we're focused completely on beer pong.
Are you going to start selling the tables too?
Yeah, the tables are for sale at Spencer Gifts.
And, you might expand a little bit on your efforts and what it took, the whole process with Spencer Gifts.
Yeah, so they actually saw us on the Kickstarter, which was awesome, and one of their buyers contacted us, and we took a trip out to Atlantic City and got to meet with them, got to see, we also went over afterwards to the Trump complex to see all of that. But it was a good trip. We met with 3 people there and solidified some deals. Go ahead.
Can you show us your video?
Yeah, I might need a little bit of help finding my way to the internet here, but.
Is there a difference between your packaging up there? I mean, is it the same set? Or,
Yeah, so this plastic set was what we started with. This is what these were the rewards for our Kickstarter campaign. Spencer Gifts wanted something very durable because they are using this as a kind of an inner pack as it travels around in their different stores. So they wanted something very durable, so that's what we came up with for them. We'll continue, I think, to sell in the plastic packaging because we really kind of like it. Just Google.
How much does your set retail for, and how much does your table retail for?
The sets are $14.99, and the The tables are 125.
Alex, at any point in the process, did you experience any issues in regards to you guys being young or business entrepreneurs? I mean, was age ever a factor in doing?
I don't think age was a factor, but definitely knowledge was. Yeah, we had a lot to learn and little time to do it. We started this thing, actually this video that I'm going to show you was aired in February, so just pretty new at it.
We set out to design and make the best beer pong cups imaginable. We examined all the elements that would do so. From durability to spacing, Hexcups are an improved way to play. The tight fitment and honeycomb design eliminates wasted space and provides for some pretty interesting re-racks that can be in any shape or logo that you can imagine.
We've made Hexcup out of a durable polypropylene material. We've reinforced the corners, and with the features we've added, we feel like the cup is much more durable than your average plastic cup. It will withstand the dishwasher, and we consider it very much reusable.
Regular cups ghost or move around when on a wetted surface. Our design eliminates that surface tension, and Hexcups will remain stationary. To meet manufacturing costs and minimums, we really need the help of Kickstarter. Everyone who backs this Kickstarter campaign will be the first ones to receive the best beer pong cups in the world.
So there's a video.
Can you tell us about getting into the manufacturing? Where do you manufacture them? How do you get into that?
So we source these cups in China, and we found that manufacturer through some folks that I've met over there through some previous experiences. And so far, it's gone pretty well for us. Go ahead.
Have you had to defend your patent?
So the process of getting a patent is about a year long, and currently we've been allowed, which means that they've actually given us our issue date as October 18th. So we're kind of poised and ready to defend our patent. And we have actually been challenged already. So so far all we've been able to do is like cease and desist letters, but now we can actually use litigation as a tool to get other people off the market. Go ahead.
So in the video, it showed people drinking from the cups. Do you find that happens, and is there a different comfort level in holding a hex cup versus a round cup?
Well, you definitely, you want to make sure you drink out of the corner. If you don't drink out of the corner, then you have a problem. But other than that, it's about like using a standard cup for drinking. And some people like to use water in the cups when they play beer pong. It's more sanitary, and that's kind of what we recommend. But some people do put beer in the cups, and they do drink out of them. Go ahead.
Have you thought about just selling cups themselves and not as a beer pong?
We have, but I think most people would need the ping pong balls to be able to play the game. So we just wanted to give them everything they needed, kit.
Alex, looks like you've sold quite a few internationally. Do you ever see beer pong becoming the Olympic sport?
That would be really cool. One of our supporters was actually the World Series of Beer Pong in France. And I was like, okay, it's that popular there that they have a World Series. So that would be neat.
Okay, so last question. I do have one more question. You know, you're talking about you're just focusing on the beer pong game. But the first thing I thought of seeing this was back when I was a teenager and would babysit and trying to find different things for kids to do.
Yeah.
I would set a box on its side on the floor. I would take styrofoam cups and, we would play a game where they would toss something in it. I could see different uses for this, even for retirement village or nursing homes, to where it doesn't have to
An activity.
It's an activity, not so much the beer aspect of it, but not that older people don't like to drink beer either. I'm just saying it would be more acceptable, I guess, if it didn't have the beer pong name to it. So that might be something you would consider down the road. That the design is great for those applications also. So if you ever want to expand using your design, that might be something that you could look into down the road as far as a game that could be used for other things besides drinking.
I'll say when I go to homecoming at school, the number one kids game is definitely beer pong. All the kids are playing more beer pong than anyone else.
Okay, so Alex, what can we as a community do for you?
Well, I had a few questions I'd come up with. Definitely the first one there, our biggest problem is finding retailers, and I was curious if anyone in the audience knew of a local trade show or such thing that could help us get into a retailer. And then I can just go through the questions. If any of you know the answers, that'd be good. How do we enter the retail market from more of a distributor side, and how do I get in contact with those people? And how do we market the product without getting into some really expensive marketing? And I was really interested in some of the things you had to say about search engine optimization, some of that sort of thing I need to get my hands around. And then how do we boost online sales? Oh, go ahead.
Are you opposed to branding? For instance, you might talk to Paul Biker, the county distributing. That'd be an excellent person to talk to. Whether they could actually handle some retail for you, or they could, they have a store their facility. But also,
I don't think that's a store anymore. It's very, very minor. Yeah.
They can help you get into like fitters or someplace like that.
Yeah, and I think that kind of opportunity, we'd be interested in like supplying bulk cups for an event or something, just to kind of get the word out and get people using them.
There's a local trade show, Missouri Petroleum Marketers Association, for all the convenience stores in Missouri, and then they have a national conference that they have as well. So a lot of convenience stores sell liquor and sell beer, and so getting into that market, I think, would be good. And so they have one for Missouri, but then they also have a national one usually in Vegas every year.
Okay.
For the national, it's something you can find it if you Google it. But I think that would be a good place to retail for that.
Definitely.
Have you considered, one of the, in my generation, perhaps one of the best things of marketing was how they distributed Post-it notes. Have you thought of maybe shipping a couple of packages to every chapter of your fraternity?
We have thought of that. That was something we considered in the Kickstarter campaign. We didn't have product to ship yet, so we were more shipping informational stuff.
Ship one, see if they order some more.
Yeah.
On a local basis, what you can do is try and work with radio stations, because they have remote events at the bars, at the shows, where they've got live bands, that kind of thing, and you can turn it into a game with their remote announcements and everything. And they ought to do that. Having come from the radio background a little bit, they ought to actually let you do that for free. Promotion of your product along with the bar. Get to know your bar people. Get to know your bar people, and the radio station ought to do that for free. And give a couple, a set or two away. That's all it should cost you.
You have a Facebook page?
We do.
The best advertising you can do is Facebook, and it's the cheapest. You can reach 1 million people's Facebook ads. We learned that really fast. Because we've done the radio thing and everything under the sun. It cost $1 million to do it. Never really got any returns. And for $200 on Facebook, you can get your brand in front of thousands and thousands of people in a week, and you will get likes and hits and everything like that. It's something to think about. We never thought it would be that good, but it really does work good and it's cheap.
Do you know your minimum production runs?
Yeah.
Can you do colors?
Yes. So in order to do colors, we need to buy about 100,000 cups at a time. So for a big university, it would work. Something we thought
Black
about.
and gold.
Yeah.
Or green gold, place.
Go ahead.
Or would you consider putting like an Anheuser-Busch logo on it and like talking to Anheuser-Busch and incorporate college colors?
That would be really cool. We had one event that we did recently at the Country Stampede, and in that case, they wanted to use our cups for the event, and they wanted to put the Miller logo on them. And it came out that Miller didn't want to support binge drinking, and they thought that the product was related to binge drinking. So sometimes they might not be interested, but if they are, yeah, we're more than interested in that.
Carolyn Crooker with the CDB, she's not here, but she goes to a lot of trade shows, and that's Convention and Visitors Bureau. Another one is, I know we were talking about the trade show in Vegas, and I was going to mention that, and I know that I think Meg Liston from the downtown City Group and John Simmons from the city go to that, and they might be willing to take and market your Hexcups for you, because they're at that trade show anyway. But I know those three would be would be able to take your cups and market them along with, business cards or whatever, and to show them off as a product that they made that's available. So
Very cool.
And Diane knows them all.
Last thing I want to say is I applaud you to show that innovation does not have to be high tech.
There you go.
Thank you.